Press conference.
The Ohio State Buckeyes, very quality football team. Coach Tressel's done a great job with them. We certainly respected that opponent, knew that we'd have to play well to win, and feel very fortunate to have played as well as we have. I can also tell you that it's the first time that a two-loss team has played for a national title and won, certainly. And I have to give great credit to some divine intervention and some grace that allows us to be in this position, and a great group of young men. I think the guys that are sitting to my left, our senior class, Glenn Dorsey, just a number of men that just understand how to really commit to a team, to fight like hell, and not let an obstacle stand in the way. Just find a way to overcome, whether it be injury or shuffled starting lineup or a devastating loss in the back end of the season that we just have to overcome. And I couldn't be more proud of this team. I'm so fortunate to be the coach here, so fortunate to represent LSU. And excuse me. Wow! Just kind of had to do that. Just one of those things.
Appropriate. Please raise your hands for questions for players only, and we will start right down here.
Matt, can you talk about benefiting from the personal foul penalties they had? It seemed to give you some momentum, especially on that first touchdown drive.
Yeah, we got some penalties against them that really, gave us some extra yardage and, really helped, some drives stay alive. But, I feel very confident that our offense was moving well, and, we just, we were kind of clicking. We were in rhythm the whole game. So, those penalties definitely did help us a little bit. But, this offense played well, and I think we would have made those yards.
And we have some more over here.
Can both of you guys comment maybe on being a healthier team than you were down the stretch and how much of a difference it made on the field tonight?
Me personally, it was good for me to get this rest and get healthy again. And for this team, we've had such a tough schedule. Week in and week out, teams have been playing their best football against us, and just really, the SEC, there's hard hitting every week. And, we got banged up a little bit, and it was very, it was very helpful for this team to get this opportunity to be healthy and, get back to where we were at the beginning.
Just to count off of what Matt said, at first we was the most freshest team. Then people was telling us we was getting banged up and bruised and everything. But with these weeks in between the national championship, it helped everybody get in condition. People lost weight. People was doing everything they could do. They could stretch, put some ice on everything, especially like Glenn Dorsey, Tyson, Kirsten, people on our offense. They were just icing everything down. Coach Miles told us every day, if you're going to go inside the training room, superset everything. Go and get double heavy mat, icing, tub, anything. It really helped us down here because we actually showed y'all that we can actually play 4 quarters if we was healthy, when we healthy.
To your right, second row.
Ricky, talk about what you've been through this year, obviously not being able to play in the regular season, then coming back just 2 games, and now you're the defensive MVP of the national championship game.
All my coaches told me to keep my head up from day one. I felt down. I felt like I wanted to leave school and everything, but all my coaches told me at the end, there's something going to come for you. And I just leaned on my players. My players told me, anything you need, I'll help you out. And at that point, it just made me appreciate everything in life. And I took school to the point that I wanted to graduate next semester. And it actually made me appreciate everything in life now. It made me appreciate school. It made me appreciate my mom, my dad, what they did for me. It made me appreciate Coach Miles, Matt, all my team members, even trainers, the equipment managers. Just made me appreciate everybody around me because I seen them when I was down. They helped me out to get back up. And once I lift my head up, it just felt like I was on top of the world. And just to go out and play in the national championship game, it was a great thing.
We have 2 down front.
Ricky Jean, specifically guys up front, after the long touchdown, how did you, reestablish control at the line of scrimmage against a real good offensive line?
Pelini told us to just calm down because we was ready to come out there, come off the ball full speed, be aggressive. But Coach just told us just to slow down for a minute. Coach Miles Pelini just told us to slow down for a minute. Just look at what you're doing. What was the mistake from last play, and we just corrected from there.
Ricky, can you talk specifically about the field goal as well? What happened on that play, and how'd you get in the pressure in there to get the hand on the ball?
On the field goal, our coach told us to basically come out in regular defense because he probably thought they was gonna fake it. But everybody was just telling me, with your quickness and size, coach was telling me just to back up off the ball a little bit because their O-line wasn't trying to put their hands out or nothing. They were just using their shoulders. So I backed up and just came off quick as possible trying to time the ball. And when I got back there and I saw my hand, I was like, please let this block this ball. And when I finally blocked, I was just shocked. I think it changed the momentum of the game because at that point, when they thought they could kick a field goal, they probably could have did it multiple times during the game. But once I blocked that field goal, it's like it just took them out of strategies. And any other fourth down they had to go to, they probably just had to go for it.
In the middle now.
Matt, can you talk about the offense, their feeling at the time? You were down 10-0. You hadn't done anything. You went 3 and out in the first drive. Can you talk about your feeling at that time?
Yeah, I think we had the feeling, like we did at the beginning of the game. I think, this team is full of grown men. This team is full of guys who have been there, guys that never say quit. And, we just, we're very stubborn. And so we're down, we just don't think twice about it. We go out there, we knew we could execute, and it was just like we got in rhythm. We stayed in rhythm. We started in it, we ended in it. And, I think we're down 10-0, and, it's a pretty good team we're playing against. So, we just knew we had to keep going. It's a 4-quarter game, and, we had a lot of time. Just keep playing and keep moving along, just like we've done all year. And it showed that. It came out tonight.
Down in front, Austin.
Congratulations, Matt. Could you talk about that pretty touchdown pass to Brandon in the left corner of the end zone? I think it was 5 wides.
Yeah, we lined up in an empty formation, 5 wides, and it was kind of a check of the line of scrimmage. I saw that they were in zero coverage, which is no deep, and straight man to man. So I called a play where a little roll out to the left, and get Brandon LaFell one-on-one on a corner route to the pylon, and just have some underneath routes underneath it. And as soon as I saw that the cornerback outside jump the short route to the outside guy, I knew Brandon was one-on-one, and I know 95% of the time he's going to win that matchup. So I just gave a little ground and threw it to the pylon, and he made a great play and a great catch.
To the right here, front row.
Matt, you 4 different games this year, you fell behind by 10 points. All 4 you came back and won. When y'all held Ohio State to the field goal to make it 10-0, how important do you think that stop was?
I think it was very important. And I think, not only that drive, but so many plays that our defense made this game that gave us good field position and just made it easier for the offense to keep momentum and keep the clock running and keep making some plays. But that field goal was, to keep them to a field goal out there was very big for us. But I'm not going to say that's any bigger than any of the other big plays that the defense made, because they played incredible tonight, made some big plays, made some big turnovers.
Back to the left.
For both you guys, the fact that you guys didn't panic when you got down and it looked like they did kind of start pressing when the momentum changed, can that be attributable to the fact that the conference you guys went through was as tough as it was and as seasoned as you guys were?
Yeah, I think so. It's this team has grown a lot this year. We've come together strong, and we've had a lot of close games, a lot of tough games that went to the wire. And like I said, we're just stubborn. We don't know when to say quit. We don't know when to give up. And this team, what I'm most proud of about this team is the ability to not focus on the things that are going on around it, whether it's good, whether it's bad. We make a good play, we come out, and we forget about it. We take it one play at a time, and that's just one thing that this team's done all year, and we've proven it all year. And we came out tonight and, just really stepped up and showed that to everybody.
Like Matt said, we are a stubborn team. For no reason, we can be down by any amount of points. Just us inside will not let that happen. Just let them catch back up. Like Matt said, we're going to do anything impossible to catch back up with anybody. Like Coach Miles, he taught us from day one, we'll never give up. We'll never give up. If you had the most heart, you'll beat the man in front of you. You had the most heart, you'll beat the team in front of you. So, like Matt said, we are a stubborn team, and we take no for an answer to be down by 10.
Couple more on the
To all of you, considering how the regular season went, I was wondering where all the penalties went tonight.
Where they went.
Yes.
I think, we, through the course of the year, we became a smarter team, and we just, we started out the season, and we did have, a lot of penalties, a lot of, miscommunication. We had a lot of young guys in there that, hadn't played a ton of football, and there's a learning period that they go through where they just have to, get some experience and just kind of know what to do. And, but, when we go to bowl practice, we have a couple of weeks to prepare. So we really, when we start, we get back to the basics. We get back to learning how to play smart. And, Coach Miles and the coaching staff, they just really drove it into our heads that, we need to play smart. And it's just, controlled rage, It's going out there playing tough, flying around, but doing it in a smart way. And I think we just did a really good job of that. And, like I said, this team just plays smart, and I think they've grown every week.
Final questions for the players right here.
The entire country's watching. 2 football states that you came from, Texas and Florida, yet you chose Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Could you each just talk about the decision to go to that place and what the people have meant to you?
When I made my decision, I sat down with my parents. I told my parents I want to go to LSU. Just the feeling of being at LSU was a great thing. It felt like I was home. Even though I was a long way from home, it just felt like home. I told my mom and my dad I want to go to LSU, and I wasn't taking no for answers. I'm a stubborn person too, but I wanted to go to LSU from day one. We got one of the best football programs, one of the best track programs, and things did change, like going to Baton Rouge and leaving from Miami. Like you leave fast life to go to slow life. But once that happened, it made me start thinking like what's around me. Like I have football, I have friends, I have people that's like family to me. I have education. They drilled it in my head that education was a good key. And coming from LSU, getting a degree, you have a great job further down the line.
Growing up in Texas, I grew up, an old Southwest Conference and Big 12 fan. So when I got in high school, I saw my first SEC game, and it's just a different ball game. It's incredible, the fans around it and just the atmosphere about it. So I knew I wanted to go to an SEC school, and I took a visit to LSU, and when I got there at night and I just stepped in the parking lot, looked at the stadium, and just kind of gave me chills. I just knew that this was a place I wanted to be. I knew that it was a program on the rise, a program that was going to surround me with quality people, quality coaching staff, and just guys that I can make lifelong friends with, and just play some really great football and play against the best teams. That's why you come to college, is you want to play against the best, and you want to be the best team. And that was just one of the things that drew me to LSU.
Matt, Ricky, thank you. We'll let you get back to the locker room now. Congratulations again. We'll continue on with Coach, so if you could please raise your hands for questions. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start all the way in the back when we get a mic to him. On the aisle, Coach.
Coach, not only with the victory, but the large margin of victory that you guys had tonight, you send the message to any doubter out there that you are number one in the sentence.
Well, I can only thank college football for the opportunity for the 2 teams to square off and have a definitive national champion. And certainly there'll be some argument as to who's the best team, but I think the national champion's been crowned tonight, and it was certainly a great game, and 2 quality opponents, 2 quality teams, and we're fortunate to be the national champions.
To your left.
Coach, over here. It seems that you've been labeled as a riverboat gambler and things like that, and when the fourth quarter was winding down, you went for it on 4th and 1, obviously to secure the win. Can you just talk about maybe the media's perception of you, and maybe the fans' perception of you as this gambler type of a guy?
I don't know that I'm any riverboat gambler. I think it's a pretty safe opportunity to go for less than a foot and on any down, and we felt like we had opportunities. We felt like we, could control the line of scrimmage on that spot, and, eating the clock up at that point was certainly key. And, keeping the ball and, winding it down was, we wanted to finish this thing, and, that was just an opportunity for us to do that.
Over here, third row.
Coach, could you talk about the performance of Matt Flynn tonight? Obviously couldn't play in the SEC title game, just what that meant to him to come out and have the performance that he did against the nation's top defense and get MVP honors.
Matt Flynn really was healthy, probably for the first time, fully healthy in this game. His ankle had bothered him right on through. He certainly, you didn't see it, but, he probably threw his brace away for bowl practice. And then as the shoulder got comfortable and better, he came, to speed quickly. And then he was without any incident of injury going into this game. What Flynn's meant to this team is he's a great leader. He's an unbelievably competitive quarterback. And the guys rally behind him. I mean, they really enjoy him being their quarterback. When you look at a guy that's showed the patience that he has to compete very effectively with Jamarcus Russell, a great quarterback, but yet wait his turn to play so that he could play on a championship team and have the opportunity to win a national championship. I mean, what a, him, Glenn Dorsey, the character of this football team, pretty special.
Got a couple over here. Scooter.
Did you feel like the field goal was the turning point, or at least the key play in the game? And did y'all have anything special on there?
It was. We pointed all week, really, the last 2 weeks, on pressuring their extra point field goals, and they'd been susceptible in the past to block, and we really, Coach Bradley Del Pivito, our special teams coach, really kind of pointed at that throughout the bowl preparation. And Ricky Jean-Francois is a very talented guy, and we got good push, and he got a hand up, and we got a hand on it. And to me, that was a definite turning point. And the pick, the interception, the first, the really what amounts to 2 turnovers that Ohio State gave us, in that it allows us to get back in the game and tie the score. And so, that was key.
It seemed like they were still moving the ball pretty well against you, and after that, like the momentum turned. They didn't get much movement for a good while after that.
Yeah, well, the truth of the matter is they busted a couple of plays early in some unbalanced formation, and we misaligned, and we really weren't, gapped out. And, you just had a need to settle down. It's a big game, it's and relax and play football. We felt like they could not throw the football against us, for well enough to win the game. They'd have to run it, and we felt like we'd eventually, be able to turn that down as well. So, I think, I really think that those pieces helped, obviously win the game.
Straight in front, Gene.
Les, what was more stressful, dealing with this game or dealing with the Michigan issue before the SEC game, and does that seem like about 1,000 years ago?
That seems 1,000 years ago, to be honest with you. I can tell you that this game, it's an interesting schedule. You get done with the championship game, you play Tennessee, and you have 5 weeks, and you're really confronted with how to use the time. And and there's so much said, over time. Every article is written about every player, every scrutiny of offensive line versus defensive line, secondary versus receivers, and there's so much, spoken, and so much, such a great shine on the game, that you almost just have to, step back and say, okay, now guys, this is just simply put a football game. They're going to put 11 guys on the field, and you got a responsibility to do your job and your role, and I think you saw a little bit, the way we started on defense, that we weren't really just, emotionally there yet. And but once we got there, I felt like the team performed pretty well. Well, the Michigan thing was, it really, it didn't compare. I mean, it's there's a there will always be a wonderful place in my heart for Michigan, and it's just that simple. I'll never change. And but there will also be an extremely warm spot in my heart for LSU, and this very special season, this very special team. And I don't. Right now, the ability to enjoy the position we're in college football, here at LSU, standing atop, a great sport, very fortunate.
Far left, front row. Pete.
Les over here. Two-pronged question for you a little bit. The difference in the title game last year seemingly was the push that Florida got up front. You seemed to get similar push, especially as the game wore on. Can you talk about, and you thought coming in your front four was maybe probably one of the bigger advantages you had. Can you talk about that? And the second part being, can you talk about this as a statement for the SEC to come to this game and win impressively for the second consecutive year?
Well, certainly the matchup up front was key, and they have a very talented defensive line and in my opinion, a very talented offensive line, and so there were matchup issues, on both sides. I think certainly they won their share of battles, but as the game wore on, our defensive line stopped their run. Our offensive line allowed us to pass the football and run the football, and so maybe the big guys, had more influence on this game than maybe other spots. But I can tell you this: the SEC is a very competitive league. I mean, it's not a league where you're just going to go into the league and have dominant games week after week after week. You're going to have to play competitively. You're going to have to play from behind. You're going to have to take risk. And I think that puts the SEC champion in a game like this with some comfort. Down 10, like down 10, Matt Flynn, there's no panic in this team. Are you kidding me? We've been down 10 before. We understand how to play. And this football team just, finds a way and keeps on. Just like Ricky Jean said, you get down. If you'd have gone down 13, if you'd have gone, it wouldn't have made any difference. We would have found a way to get back in the game, and there would have been that view. There was never a point in time where we felt like, one, that we couldn't throw the football to get back in the game had they extended their lead, and three, we just knew that we were going to hold their offense. I mean, at some point in time, they were not going to be able to throw the football effectively and nor rush the football well enough to beat us. Well, I can surely say that there are some great teams in college football. Certainly, there's great teams in the Big 12, great teams in the Pac-10, great teams in the Big 10. But the way ACC, certainly any of those conferences I have yet to mention, don't want to get anybody mad at me already. But the point is in this conference, week after week, you're gonna play quality, coached, very talented teams, and you're going to have to play your best. And so I think it puts the champion of this conference in position to compete in a very competitive game like this, with advantage.
Here in the front.
Coach, if when Coleman comes in and takes over for Steltz, he comes up with a huge hit on Chevis's interception and then recovers a fumble. Is his play tonight kind of a microcosm of the season on how your second and third teamers have come in and contributed?
Well, we're fortunate. When a guy gets injured, we turn to the next guy in that room. We expect him to go in there and uphold his responsibility to the team. It's what we expect from the position. And we've had that in a number of ways in this year. Certainly at quarterback, Matt really week after week when Early Doucette goes down. You know, Early Doucette's not a part of our team for about 3 or 4 weeks in the center of our season. It allows those young receivers to come on and play better, and we win with those young receivers. Yeah, it is. It's a great example of, you know, having a team that, you know, we play young players and we put them on the field, and when we put them on the field, they're coached and we expect them to win, and they're talented, and that's the fortunate position to be in. Certainly at LSU, we have talented guys. Our team moves. You know, if we lose a guy, we put the next guy in. We expect him to play well. He does.
Over here to the left.
Hey, Coach, this is sort of a follow-up on what you just talked about. Early in the year, you're really rolling people with your team healthy, Virginia Tech, Mississippi State. Then you kind of got banged up as the year went along. How much of today was kind of the result of you being able to get a little bit healthier and getting back to where you were close to the same team that played Virginia Tech early?
We really lost one guy for the year, and that was Charles Alexander. And you're right. It really, considering after the Virginia Tech game, this was the healthiest that we'd been. And Ricky Jean-Francois really shows up the back end of the season in the Tennessee game and in the national championship game. So that was an important, you know, acquisition to get him back the back end of the season. You know, when you look at Glenn Dorsey, you know, playing fresh, he made a heck of a difference. He didn't come out of the game. He was in the game the whole time, and he made big play after big play. You know, if you look at Terry Beckwith, who was injured at times during the season, if you look at the, you know, our team, we're probably fastest and healthiest and most ready to play in this game.
Final question right here.
Coach, just to talk more about Ricky Jean, just what he's been able to overcome this year and being able to battle back from what he went through this regular season to be the MVP in the national title game.
We certainly knew that he was coming back to ready to play, you know, for the SEC championship game, and certainly enjoyed that addition. I don't know that we would have had the success that we did in the championship game if he hadn't been a part of us. And then, you know, with a game under his belt, he played in the title game in the conference. With a game under his belt, he got into some shape finally, and played extremely well in the national championship game against a very formidable opponent in Ohio State. So I can tell you this, Ricky Jean-Francois is, you know, an example of a guy that's, you know, going to do it right. He's going to get his degree. He's going to play, you know, great football. He's going to play championship football, and he's got a lot of character and he's got a lot of the right stuff.
Coach, thank you very much. And again, congratulations to the 2008 national champion LSU Tigers.
Thank you very much.
And that's our buddy, Les Miles, the head coach of the national champion LSU Tigers.
And a man of character. You need to throw that in there. I mean, with all the talk about Michigan and all that was going on, the way he kept himself together and the team and stayed and honored his contract was impressive.
I didn't see any Wolverines near that game tonight.
I didn't. Sure did.
You know, those Tigers are going to be celebrating, and we've got another person that's going to be celebrating. Fox News Louisiana has been promoting the Ultimate Tailgate Package winner. And there's our winner, Terry Vega from Pride, Louisiana.
Hey.
And he wins about $1,000 worth of stuff, including this. This.
That's one.
You see that adorning the front of our desk tonight?
Stadium blanket.
Go Tigers blanket. And this is Mike 5. This, I understand, taken not long before, you know, Mike 5 passed away, but that's a gorgeous picture.
Yeah,
gorgeous
absolutely.
photograph.
And nicely framed, we should. All right, okay.